This is our last fireside chat. So this is on the high level. So it's about government engagement.
Okay.
And we heard that in all your projects, in all the country, this was one of the key aspects. And of course, it's also, I think, a key aspect when it comes to sustainability of the project, if it comes to regulation and, yeah, international commitments and so on.
Yeah.
So how much of a priority was SCP for your government? Maybe when we started this journey together. And did this project change the attitudes, or did anything change in your governments during that project?
Yeah. Okay. Ladies first. Okay. So, in terms of the position of our government on SCP, I would say that SCP is in the plans and the targets of the government. However, it's like bits and pieces. It's not labeled as SCP per se. For example, if they do waste management, they are not labeled as an SCP indicator or of some sort. So what we influence is really on the development of the action plan for SCP. Because number one, we somehow provided the scientific evidences on SCP. We had our life cycle assessment that we presented to them. We also provided the National Eco-Labeling Certification Criteria, and that is one of the priorities now of our action plan. We also advocated for the natural cost accounting, wherein we see that the resources of our country will be highly determined by how we take care of it. And in terms of economics, how would we do that? In relation to tourism, that is also included the carrying capacity. So the carrying capacity of our country in terms of receiving tourists is something that we also contributed to SCP. So I would say because of our involvement from start to finish, we were able to really mainstream such activities for the government as SCP principles, something that they did not realize before. Even in restaurants, I mean, before they would say, okay, we are conserving water, we are conserving electricity, they didn't know that it was actually an SCP principle already in itself. So it's a matter of framing that your existing actions, your existing plans are already SCP principles.
Yeah, I think this is interest question because I think in the yesterday in our meeting that this project is too big, so a lot of we can capturing for the each country about the SGP for the define what is the SGP. That's the one thing. So SGP is not talking only about the food loss. As SGP not only talking about the food waste. SGP not only talking about the production. All what we are doing now for the each country is talking about the SGP, but we need integrated about that. Back to the question that what is the important thing for Indonesia, like the Indonesia, the government to understand about the SGV is quite clear, right? Because we have the two ministry lead for this regulation. One in the planning ministry is like Bapenas we call. They have the assistance from our colleague WRI to support about the food waste and food loss. And then in the other side we have the Ministry Environmental and Forestry that we have the one planet, right? Then we're talking about the sustainable production and include how we can create about the plastic smart city. So this is also talking about the SGV, I mean. So that's the intervention from the government. And then where is the project sit and then what is the project intervention. Again, we just to make sure that this framework policy is can implement it in the ground level. That's why for Indonesian project we trying to collaboration with the local government in the province level. We call West Java, and then Tanya also attend to see that our assignment with the governor, and then follow up that we help them to identify what is the indicator to support the SGV. So like the carbon food and then food waste and then reduce plastic, something like that. So we help them. And then this is not easy because until now this 3 years is not enough. We still need have the monitoring and then also evaluation. And then again, in the last our discussion that we also, especially for Indonesia, that we need to define clear about what is the SGP for the WWF. I think this is must be clear. Because from my experience, I just want to say that in WWF also not clear about the jurisdictional approach definition. Also about the nature-based solution. So many is countries. So I think because this we have a big project, so we also need integrate it and define at least clear about what is the SGP want to do.
Thank you to both of you. And my follow-up question would be, I think you already touched it for Indonesia, that you worked on province level, right, with West Java. So the question is, did you find allies or champions in your respected government to support your work and to help move forward?
Definitely, you need that. You need champions. For our project, initially we are lodged under the Climate Change Commission, but there were some changes in the leadership and some internal politics that we were not able to penetrate. So we shifted to the Department of Tourism. So they were the ones, the secretary then and the secretary now were very much supportive of our role for knowledge transfer and somehow upgrading the skills of the tourism employees when it comes to SCP. On the local level, we also have that. For the city of Cebu, we were able to have one champion, the councilor that was able to pass an ordinance for food waste reduction in the city. So very much important. But at the end of the day, having champions is good, but you need to show them results also. So to keep them and to believe in you. So I think that's one important lesson that we get from government relations.
Yeah, maybe I want to add about the West Java because the West Java we signed the MOU is signed 2019. 2019 and end 2022. So we at least have the 3 years. Until now, our communication and coordination is still our build, and then to be honest that the West Java is not our priority landscape for the strategic plan WWF Indonesia, so it is also difficult we can help, but we trying to collaboration with another program in WWF Indonesia how we can support this government, because what we already start in the beginning, I think we cannot stop in the middle. So we still need engage them. So that's the point. We now support them to carrying capacity with not for as a consultant. This is just the pro bono, and then we can support to develop them the planning or how they can also monitoring and also the verification, something like that. And then we happy that because I think the last year or 2 years ago, last year after the project end, then we got some funding from for the plastic, and then one of the location in West Java. So this is like the continuing on the sustainability. And then another case is about the NDC. After we finish with our research about the 5 recommendation, we thinking about how we can emphasizing this result, and then how we can make it happen in the result. So we now continuing with another champion in West Kalimantan and also in the Central Kalimantan to there can implementation our recommendation related NDC. So now we have, I mean, is the after this project SGP we have the continuing of our result. One is still with West Java. Even the SGV is not in here, but another program continuing for that, and then another set in West Kalimantan and also Central Kalimantan to how to we can implementing about the sustainable production based on the sustainable commodity and palm oil implementation gap, and then how to local government can contribute to reduce their emission based on the palm oil sector. Yeah.
So thank you so much. We are a bit behind the time schedule, so I would immediately ask you in the audience if you had any more questions or comments on the government engagement.
From the international perspective, we're really very much interested, and I'm hearing to you on the NDCs, on the national determined contribution. In Dubai at the COP, we will have the global stocktake, and it's all about, or more or less all about the NDCs. We heard from Nacho in the morning that he managed, at least in his project, to change or to improve the NDCs. So for me, it would be, you mentioned this already, but maybe to Melody, really to listen a little bit how open your governments are to integrate food system approaches, and I talk about the production, the supply chain, food loss and waste and consumption in the NDC. So because the member states have to update in 2 years, and it's a time where we really have to scale up and have more ambition NDC. So just a question on this, and maybe how we could support you. I'm with WWF International. How could we support really to scale up the NDCs?
Yeah, for WWF Philippines, we have our own policy manager who manages all the our work on policies. So we are in close coordination with the DNR, who is now the lead for the NDCs. And as far as I know, we have one other employee from WWF who is an in-house already of the DNR. So I think that being said, our entry point for pushing food systems approach in NDCs will be easier compared to what we did a few years ago. And for the PBSAPs, for our biodiversity strategies and action plans. The good thing is that, Martina, our Great Food Puzzle, one of the people who was very much interested in the Great Food Puzzle project would be the Biodiversity Management Bureau of the DNR. So they are very much interested, and they are very much willing to work, and they learned a lot from the first convening that we did for the Great Food Puzzle. So I think, Martina, there is really a bigger chance now for the Philippines to include sustainable food systems in our targets.
So thank you too. A big round of applause.